It's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas, live from Milberger's Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. During the next 2 hours, our experts will help you with your gardening questions when you call 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. Or come by Milberger's during the show and have your question answered in person. And now it's time for Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody, to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar here with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. Love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. Well, we survived the heavy storms we had this past week, so...
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yep.
Just a year later, and we got more rain.
Oh, yes.
Well, gosh, what a difference in terms of performance in dealing with the excessive rain and high waters.
That's true. It looks like that's it for now, or for the foreseeable future. We're back to high and dry weather.
Yeah, maybe we'll go 2-3 weeks, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, yeah. The water in the same places.
Mm-hmm.
There's advantages and disadvantages of living by a river, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, just tell me about it. My wife and I had that condo on the coast, and it was wonderful sometime, but hurricane season was a nightmare. Between insurance bills and threats, you never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But, well, our article today is somewhat humble about instead of about very attractive, exciting berry trees and butterflies and things. It's about the lawn. The lawn is we spend a lot of time taking care of it, a lot of money, and so we do have to keep track. And we're in a situation now where there is. I think we really have to make an assessment of what our lawn situation is. It's been, like 7 years of drought, and then all that heat, and our landscape's maturing. So we got to kind of look at the shade situation. We got to look at the moisture situation, the organic material, if there is any organic material left. But I get there is some, because there's big piles of it in front of gates and bridges and things. So,
speaking from the trees perspective, an arborist perspective, urban forester, I find this is a great time after 7 years of drought to either minimize or eradicate or eliminate your yard, your lawn. Alex is going, what? I said, speaking from a tree's perspective.
Well, who do you think will get to replace them here at Milberger's? If I remember right, Milberger's does a little...
It does a lot of lawn, a lot of grass. We do sell a lot of grass here at Milberger's.
The other thing that really is notable, and it kind of sneaks up on you, did you notice how at what level we are in the aquifer right now?
I did not notice, but I was talking with a friend of mine
yesterday. What's your guess?
Almost to the top, because
9 feet. It was.
Yeah. So because we were talking about Canyon Lake, and I said, I bet Canyon Lake's going to be about 70 to 80% full.
And remind us,
it was 100% full.
Yeah. Remind us, Mark, where the aquifer level, where the water. Where the rain comes, that gets a maximum impact on the aquifer. I think we hit them.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people confuse the artesian section the aquifer actually where it stores water and the recharge zone somewhat mixed up. So there's a thin band of area where actually the stone is on an angle, and the water actually goes into the aquifer and then it becomes pressurized when it gets further on down. So that area recharge zone is basically about 10 miles north of 90, and then a little bit north, and it comes in direct contact with 1604 as 1604 goes across the county. Then it sweeps up north towards New Braunfels and finally ends up in Austin. But that's the area where the water comes in. So ideally, we want the water to fall north of Honda, by Quihee, north of Sabinal, and north of Uvalde. And guess where all the rain came? All in that area.
North of Uvalde.
Yeah. So all that area then. So ideally that was the best spot for the rain. Unfortunately, it's also caused a couple of deaths and a lot of property damage on that. My friend Sue Kalberg was out there and filming live and at the Frio and in Sabinal and Nueces Rivers, and they were moving with lots of water.
How the fact that a lot of the rain fell north of Castroville and Honda, Uvalde. How many days can we expect the aquifer to continue to fill? Does all the water run off over the top that doesn't go down immediately, or is there a period of
there's
time?
Actually some internal pathways, and we usually talk about the north, middle, and south pathway on the recharge. The southern route takes the longest, and the middle route is maybe about 21 days to a couple months, and then the northern route it recharges very quickly, 72 hours maybe.
Is that what the New Braunfels area? Or
yeah,
what?
Yeah. So the northern pathway is the area we're talking closest to 1604.
So do you think that we're talking about getting to the average level of the aquifer during this period of time after this rain?
I know. It's like, we're hoping for average. Yeah. We're number C. Yeah. We're hoping for a C. But it is probably that's what's going to happen, or very close on the other end. A couple feet maybe to the historic average.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's kind of it's interesting to follow, because it's easy to look at the paper or the other source of the aquifer levels, and one day it's 20 feet below, and then 2 days later it's 7 feet or 8 feet.
That is the unique characteristic of the Edwards aquifer. A lot of aquifers take centuries, years if not centuries, to refill. Ours we can refill in a couple of days if need be, depending on the amount of rain and where it lands.
Yeah, that's been one of the exciting parts of being associated with the Edwards aquifer, is that.
And I was just going to remind everybody where we measure the depth of the aquifer is at Fort Sam Houston. We call it the J17 well. And that's kind of on this middle path, northern and middle path, where the aquifer, when we measure the aquifer. So, again, some of the aquifer recharges faster than others. Others take a long time.
So if you want to follow that, it'll be interesting for the next few weeks. The Express News every day has a report on the aquifer level. And now it's at the back.
It's
San Antonio Light.
It's we never know where it's going to be, but it'll be either in two places: the back of the Life or the back of the sports page.
Yeah,
and in the upper right-hand corner, it has aquifer, the rainfall for average last year, current, and then how close we are to historic levels.
Yeah, and what a coincidence, because my article is right in that same section.
Yeah.
Well, and it quite often is on Saturdays.
Yeah. And, it is. It's a pertinent. Once again, Calvin, your articles are at a pertinent moment because this is a time after the rain. We're going to get good growth.
Oh, yes.
But a lot of times, depending on the species, but a lot of times the new growth will be a little yellow or light green. And you talk about that in the article about the addition of iron supplements, chelated iron in particular. That would help that because the roots and the blades are having a little time adjusting to each other. There's always a ratio depending on how high you mow, which is the root depth. And a lot of times that's out of balance when we get a lot of rain.
Yeah, and I kind of recommend that everybody be cautious and not act too quickly. I know when you get this rain and you see that green up and we need to take advantage of it, that doesn't mean that you want to put in a new lawn immediately.
Yeah.
You certainly want to assess the situation. You want to look at your shade situation. You want to look at the state of your soil.
Mm-hmm.
Because in our, generally across central Texas, of course, Mark will relate all the various zones and the soils react differently there. Some of them are don't respond well or don't respond efficiently to this available rain. But there are a lot of differences. But basically, you want to make sure you see what the reaction was and you make a kind of a sober assessment of how you want to take advantage of it. But basically, you mow it and you then just examine what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of gardeners, Mark and I see this all the time. We get the old reporter get a photo in and say, "Oh, now I'm thinking I need to put in a new
lawn. Everything is dead.
Yeah.
My new lawn."
And then they show a picture, and it says it's in full sun.
Mm.
But the picture shows
we can see the shadows.
The hackberries and the oaks are over the.
We can see the
top.
branches in the photo or the shade.
And you say, well, they used to be in full sun 15 years ago, you know. But so, yeah, be patient with it. Enjoy the access to the moisture, and a lot of times a key factor is the amount of soil you have. So don't move quickly to spend a lot of money on new sod and things if you don't have any soil to take advantage of the conditions. It won't matter whether we go back to a normal aquifer level or to a normal rainfall level if you don't have any soil for a reservoir. You'll be spending a lot of time and money watering the lawn. But it's a wonderful situation to be in right now because we get to see this change, and hopefully we'll be moving back into basically a normal situation for us, for the aquifer and for our turf grasses and plants. But just be cautious and patient to make sure that you don't move indiscriminately and waste a lot of money and wear yourself out. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you take a little time and accurately assess what's happened, 6 weeks from now, you'll have a better idea of what your situation is. And it's potentially a lot of these of our landscapes are in a different situation than they were 7 years ago.
And the benefit in our area, one of the benefits in our area, and also one of the detriments, is the St. Augustine in Bermuda. As both of them will recover quickly because they grow not for the Bermuda from seed, but also from rhizomes, expanding their root system or their blades of grass over the ground and under the ground. So very quickly it can recover. So a lot of times when people say, "Oh, it's a bare spot," and lots of times I just say, "Well, let's just wait. A little bit of compost, a little bit of moisture, hopefully some sun that's not in the shade, and the St. Augustine will rapidly recover in that area, as well as Bermuda."
You know, we talk a lot about the sustainable winter lawn where the weeds are kind of attractive, the rescue grass and things like that. But it's amazing how quickly, like in my yard, the backyard, the Bermuda grass is taken over. And the front yard, the St. Augustine, is suddenly, it's got we had one of our callers tell us about the St. Augustine peat grasses running across the lawn and filling the gaps. We've been gone 7 years, but we're coming back, man. In 4 years, it'll be us again.
Yeah, we're going to say we've been holding ourselves back, accumulating food reserves in our roots, and now it's time.
So, yeah, it's a great time, but it also is a time to be patient and be environmentally conscious of what we've got and what our water resources are like. The good news is, I better not overstate it, but the good news is that our versatile or diverse water resources that we've created over the last few years have done a good job of getting us through this drought. Now, hopefully, we're at a point where we can retreat back into a kind of more of a normal situation. Famous last words. But
yeah. For those of you north of San Antonio, you're primarily on the Trinity Wilcox. Now that's an aquifer that doesn't restore itself quickly, unfortunately. So you're gonna experience a buildup of your aquifer levels and your well levels, but it may take a while.
It always strikes me how complex it is. And you talk about these little islands of available water and pools, and
particularly with Trinity Wilcox, Trinity Glen Rose, all that complex. It's very variable. Yeah, you can literally have one neighbor with lots of water and one neighbor without, or limited amount of water.
All right. So.
I know we could talk about this all day, but don't we have a break?
We do have a break right now, so we'll be right back. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We'll be right back with Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. We'd love to hear from you, hear about any rain reports, any rain damages or difficulties you may have had. Give us a call
have tornado?
Yes.
Anybody have tornado damage?
210-308-8867.
The good news is that there was quite a bit of damage and then even 2 deaths, but nothing compared to a year ago.
Oh, that's true.
And also we just talked a lot about the positive impact it's going to have on the aquifer level and our landscapes, so that's there's good news along with
unfortunate
yeah.
news. Well, I know we talked about it before. We've had callers talk about having too much rain for their vegetables. I know that's not always the best.
That was James. Yeah,
it was James.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
that's typical agriculture and horticulture. You can't. It's never perfect.
You either get too much or too little.
Yeah, and or
not enough
insects,
or not at all.
Yeah. Well, just like our tomatoes, they were so slow.
Segue.
Yeah, they were so slow to start producing, and then suddenly they were producing everywhere. And then the next thing I knew of, mine were covered with weeds, and then also all those leaf-footed bugs and stink bugs, and so you can't win. Everybody was kind of waiting for those tomatoes to produce.
Yep.
And Mark saw this as a real opportunity. There seems to be some new tomato or some new plant types over there, which is perfect because we've been promoting the idea of it's time to pull those spring plants and get the soil ready and plant your new fall tomatoes.
Well, and we have them. We have, every variety that you and I like. They are in 4.5-inch pots, if we like to say 4.5-inch, the small ones. But every variety that Calvin and I like. Hopefully we'd see some more, but we got the small ones. We got Ribby Crush. We got my BHN. We got Sweet 100. There's another one in there, and then we got Pole Big. We got Celebrity. We got Tycoon. You saw an Amelia in there. So we got small and large.
Well, it's better than Mark says. It's the ones we like. It's the ones that are recommended, and if it's the same, it's the same ones that you probably had success with on your spring planting. The celebrities and all of those did pretty well. I didn't see. What didn't I see? I didn't see any red snappers.
No, I'm gonna have to go look. It was just I was so excited. I looked on the labels on both sides of the table.
I'd recommend. Mark mentioned there's pole bigs there too. I recommend that we didn't get overwhelming support or recommendation for the pole big, the rodeo tomato for 26. But I think it was. This was kind of a challenging time, and I think it's worthwhile to give it another try.
Another go?
Yeah, even though our renowned tomato growing expert, Steve Brown, the retired weatherman, even though he didn't speak very highly of it, what did he? He described it as being tough-skinned, small, not very productive, and bland tasting, and he said it resembled the Roma tomato. And for a rodeo tomato, that's usually not the best recommendation.
You want an eating tomato, a slicing tomato is what you want with the rodeo tomatoes.
And
he is a weatherman, so that's all I can say.
Yeah, but what you may want to try it, and if you got any other recommendations, or if anybody does, we did get a few positive responses on the pole big. I didn't mind the taste, and I'm generally not. Roma's not my favorite, but
no.
But it was quick to produce. It was quick to get the full size. So I'm going to give it another go, another chance here to see how it performs in the fall. And of course, what we'll be trying to beat, instead of the spider mites and the heat in the spring, we're going to be trying to beat the cold weather
Yeah.
this fall. And we've got the advantage that we really haven't seen much spider mite action, which is good. And we've got lots of choices on selections, all our favorite selections, and the recommended. So you can, the semi-determinate and the determinate, and then a few of the long-term reliables like Tycoon and celebrities. But they're here for now. I'm sure we'll be getting more varieties and larger ones within quick time here. Because let's see, Mark, what is it? It's the 17th, 18th?
It's the 18th today.
So it depends on who you listen to, but I recommended, I generally talk about the third week in July, and Mark talks about the first week in August. So there's that planting zone right there. We got lots of room. Go ahead and prepare your soil, and those tomato species, you're gonna they're not a species. I misspoke on that, but it's a selections. But they are machines.
Yeah.
In terms of plant nutrients and taking in water, they need access to a lot of nutrients if they're going to maximize their production. And so you want, I always say, 10 cups of 1959 per 100 feet incorporated in the soil, and then at least every couple of years, 2 inches of compost really makes a difference too, because this is one big compost pile. Our compost, it's just decomposes pretty quickly. It's not like Michigan or Minnesota where it accumulates through the winter time. So, and with this heat we've had, I suspect there's not a lot of organic material left in our
heat,
soil.
humidity. Heat plus humidity, it's going to decompose very rapidly. So you want to get the organic matter back in the soil.
Now, organic fertilizers, the problem with that is they're generally low nitrogen and almost all slow release. So the nitrogen is not turned loose very quickly. The advantage of the 1959 fertilizer is 50% high nitrogen, slow release nitrogen, and 50% fast release, and it is a high level of nitrogen. So there's plenty of nitrogen there for that fast growth response that we're looking at for these tomato varieties that we described, and it's also got a long-term supply to support that crop between now and Thanksgiving. That's when our target. We hope we do most of our harvesting between now and Thanksgiving.
Is that on sale?
What's that?
Sir?
The
1959? I don't think it is.
It is not.
No.
It's not
But
listed
what else
on
is on sale?
Well, we have lots for sale. There's a lot of Texas Superstars for sale.
Okay.
We have periwinkles in a 4-inch pot, regularly $179, on sale 8 for $12. We always talk about this one, that it's very disease and deer resistant, and it comes in shades pink, white, rose, and red. We have Esperanzas on sale in a number 2, regularly $24.99, on sale for $16.99.
Those are blooming machines, though. They're out there. There's a big bunch of them blooming out there, and then there's a mass back there on this side of the nursery too that are blooming.
Yes.
And this is we talked about the testimony to make sure that this is, what is the selection we want?
Gold Star, Texas Gold Star.
Gold Star. And if they're blooming when they're 2 feet tall or 2.5 feet tall, they're Texas Gold Star. And boy, these are blooming.
Oh, yes, they are. We also have Mexican Bird of Paradise, also known as Pride of Barbados, on sale in a number 2, regularly $19.99, on sale $14.88. And they're right there by the entrance. I could see some of them.
Oh boy, and are they blooming up a storm out in the city?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
There.
well, there's some in the wagons right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Some.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they're blooming.
is that the sale? What is that? Number 3?
Number 2.
That's number 2. Yeah.
And number 2, regularly $19.99, on sale for $14.88.
Gosh, and they grow fast, and they really bloom. Another blooming machine. Mm-hmm. And I saw in the neighborhood when I walked the dog today, I saw the butterflies, the black swallowtails. I think they were just all over it. So they're real attractive to the pollinators, in addition to being unbelievably attractive as a flower.
That they do. Do they stay usually pretty maintained by themselves, or?
Oh, the Pride of Barbados?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Just let it.
I got a couple of neighbors that really cut them all the way back early. I generally recommend be patient with them, but they respond to that, and it's pretty quick. The minute the weather gets nice and warm, poof, they're up and blooming again.
But it does have to get warm.
Warm.
These are the hot weather plants, like the Esperanza, like the firebush.
Theralis.
Theralis is another one.
Duranta. We've got Duranta here that's blooming up a storm, too.
So when it comes to wintertime, they're usually dormant, or they won't
in
really...
the wintertime, they're going to die back. So they're going to turn brown, and that's what Calvin was mentioning. Is a lot of people, as soon as they turn brown, they're going to cut them. And we generally say, keep them up, shelter for all kinds of wildlife, and then wait till about the last week of February. Then start cleaning up everything.
Gotcha.
What else was I going to say about that? It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
We also have interior plants. They're starting at $4.99, on sale 15% off.
What is this?
Interior plants.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
So we have monsteras, bromeliads, ferns, many more. I know y'all have a specific favorite that y'all like.
We like the Phalaenopsis.
Oh, yeah.
That's
hard to be.
And I like the Chinese evergreen because I find that virtually indestructible.
One of these days, drag that out so we can see that, Mark. A couple of those.
Maybe we'll do that tomorrow if the sales still run. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
We'll do that tomorrow.
We have all salvias, so that's including Greggii, Leucantha, black and blue, Russian shin sage, and more.
I don't like to lump all those salvias together because they're such a diverse genus of plants. You talked about the Salvia Greggii, which is a perennial, basically evergreen, and then you got Salvia coccinea, which grows in the shade and reseeds, and
they have mentioned their woodland sage,
and autumn sage,
and I have a feeling that also can be grown in the shade.
What about your another one that's different is Texas sage?
Totally different. It's not a salvia. It's a leucophila, but it also is totally different. No, it's not. No.
What is the genus?
Is leucophila. Or leucophyllum, I think.
Yes, all salvias in a number 1. They're regularly $9.99, on sale for $6.88. And we have plenty of more sales, and we'll get to them on the other side of this break.
I was going to tell you all about the blackberries. Okay, let's do it. Let's wait.
We'll save some time, yeah.
All right.
But we'd love to hear from you, too. Give us a call, 210-308-8867. We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. And while we wait, we'll continue on the sales we're having here at Millburgers. One that Mark was really excited to talk about are the blackberries. And that's all blackberries in a number one, regularly $12.99, on sale 20% off.
What do we have? What kind?
Well, that's just what I did. About 4 weeks ago, I went over and I looked over to our entire supply that we had. And with the exception of a few outliers, we were primarily Navajo, Arapaho, and Kiowa. And the first two are thornless, and Kiowa was thorny. So I didn't see any Brazos or what was another one that was
Roseboro.
Roseboro, yeah. I didn't see those. They may have been hidden in amongst themselves, but
Kiowa is supposedly the favorite one now.
Right, and so that's supposed to be the favorite with large, juicy fruit.
Even
fruit, not the gum.
Yeah. Even much sweeter than Brazos.
Yeah.
Of course, it's hard not to be sweeter than Brazos. It is.
It's high. It's high. So, but the other two looked healthy, looked green. Were very at that time some full of fruit. This was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
So it'd be worthy of an experiment if you wanted to try these thornless again.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah. So you can try thornless and try the Kiowa, separate ends of the bed, and see which one produces better.
Yeah, unless you enjoy getting chopped up by the blackberry thorns.
Yeah. I always like to wear welder's gloves and long sleeve flannel shirts when I'm in the summertime with the raspberries.
I don't know which are my favorite, the roses or the blackberries in terms of the thorns. They're ready to jump out at you right away. But what we're talking about is the management. After you harvest the blackberries, which I think they've just done, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then you generally, it's recommended that you cut back those old stems so that the new stems can grow for the new crop next spring.
So you want to get rid of those old ones and let those new ones come up, because the old ones won't produce fruit again. So you might as well get those out.
Yeah.
But it's a fun task, and I have said, make a bed smaller, and so you can just take the sharp implement on the steel, like not the weed eater, but the sharper one, and just go down the bed and chop them all down.
Well, I think I mentioned it. My wife Judy was a big blackberry grower, and she liked to grow them in half whiskey barrels because you could basically control them, and you could reach them,
reach around and get them out. Yeah.
Now, of course, you had to be conscientious in getting them pruned, or the next thing you'd know, after 2 or 3 years, they would be running across your lawn too, or across your garden. So, but that worked pretty. Worked pretty slick.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah,
it's a little higher with the whiskey barrels. It's a little higher.
Oh yeah,
you don't have to bend down as much.
Yeah, and then you don't have as much of an inclination as for them to send the shoots out everywhere. But they're an easy. They probably ranked second in our list next to figs.
Yeah, part of my 4 that I always recommend is figs, citrus, and blackberries, and then I throw in 5, and then I throw in the pears and the plums for easiest and
actually
predictable.
Actually get some fruit out of them almost every year.
But yes, blackberries, all blackberries, and a number one, regularly $12.99. They're on sale 20% off. We have Asian jasmine in a 4-inch, regularly $199, on sale for $128. We also have
what kind of container is that in?
Little 4-inch pots.
4-inch pot?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of those that we talk about as a shade-tolerant
durable
ground cover
Yeah.
to replace a lawn if your lawn area is too shady for grass, Asian jasmine, and a lot of the other plants. In fact, the column, the Express News column today lists a lot of the plants that will fit into an area that is too shady for lawn grass, to support lawn grass. So, it's
About how wide do those usually spread? The Asian jasmine.
So, depends on how much time you give them.
Yeah. They're not a big spreader, so they're in a clump, and that clump will get bigger and really spread out. But as far as that original clump spreading out, like through roots and everything like that, not likely.
We used to just plant those little, then 2-inch containers.
Yeah, no, wait.
And
these
that
pots
took-
are great.
That took 2 years for them to fill in. So now with these 4-inchers, they basically fill in one growing season, and then the next year you get a pretty effective coverage.
Yeah.
So the old adage is first year sleeps, second year creeps, third year leaps, and that's what we kind of always told people. But sometimes it will leap on the second year.
So you just never know. All right, we're going to stay on the topic of blackberries. 210-308-8867. We have James on the line. James, good to hear from you.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great. How are you?
Are you?
I'm just taking a break, man. It's getting hot out there.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally agree with you.
You guys are talking about berries, and we grow trees in a root maker root trapper. It's kind of like a canvas bag, but it's better than that. And they're not that expensive. You can get them for about the same price as those half whiskey barrels. You're from 2 to 100 gallons. But what makes them so nice is you can dig a hole, and then you can put your root trapper in that hole, and then you can take the dirt and fill the root trapper back up and plant your berry, and then it won't escape on you. It'll do a better job of producing because the roots are confined.
What is the material made out of it?
We've been using them for 25 years, and it's a material, and they can be buried. But I get about 10 years out of each root trapper above ground.
So I love this. I love James because he lets me talk about things 35 years ago. So I was with Carl Whitcomb way back when he started playing around with these, and the root trapper is the latest evolution of these. It's a fabric of I'm not going to say a really tight weave, but it's not a loose weave either, like we use for a landscape cloth, but it's a little tighter than a landscape cloth. And so the roots come out of it, but then the fibers in the bag will shut it down and cut
the
it out.
fibers in the bag trap the roots, and when you trap the roots, you make the root growth back towards the base of the plant. So all you're doing is root trapping and building more roots in that bag, and that's why we like it so much, because they're not like them crappy nursery pots that the roots just circle in.
Right.
So do you use it just to get the roots started and to get them down into the ground, and then you remove that fabric and reuse it? Or
it's a pot. You take and grow your tree, and you take your sharp knife and you cut the stitching on the seam, and you take it away from the root ball, and then you take your stapler, your number 35 stapler, and you staple that up and grow another tree in it.
Okay.
So
I don't think
keep
I've ever
on
seen
going
those.
for 10 years.
Yeah, so they can be in square shaped, or they can be round, or
No, these are all round.
Yeah,
They're just like tree pots, but they're root maker, root trappers. And what that does is that prunes those roots, so you don't have circling roots, and it's a root maker. It actually makes more roots for the plant that you're dealing with. But what's so cool about it is your berries can't escape. You plant them in that bag, either above the ground or below the ground, and they're going to stay there.
So it's a really cool thing. Some people, when there was a shortage of black pots due to a fire in China, a lot of growers started looking at it again. It was a fad back in the late 80s, and then a lot of people started looking at them again. I'm glad you're using them because I think they're great.
If you have a 96-degree day, the temperature on the inside of that black crappy nursery pot is about 120 degrees. These pots are white, so they reflect a lot of the heat.
Yeah.
And the plastic is just notorious for killing roots on the shiny side of the pot. And if you're still using, crappy nursery pots, I feel for you, you know.
Sometimes that's
but
all we have.
I do Carl just a little bit, but the man that's building them, Wayne Hinton in Alabama, is a friend of mine. We meet out at the Bat Cave usually once a year when they come in for their nursery meeting down there in San Antonio. So yeah, man, you really can't get a better root maker than they've got. And I've used 30-gallon and 15-gallon root trappers for, I think, 8, 9, and I think one went 10 years. So yeah, root maker.
Okay, so you get them. You get them for your friend. But if someone out there wanted to try them, where would they get them?
I don't know, because I got a commercial account with them. I have no idea. You guys got to. I don't even have a computer, man. So that's why I'm talking to you.
All right, we'll check that out for the public. But it's root maker or root. What was the other word I used?
Well, they got choppers, they got builders, they got all kinds of different root making equipment. But if you're not using them, you're really missing the boat on growing really good plants.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, one more thing.
We're laughing with you.
Sounds good.
We got
Thanks,
we got a new tomato we're working with.
Oh, yeah?
What's
it's
tomato?
It's a really nice slicer. They're growing hundreds of acres in Louisiana. It's called Roadster.
Roadster.
I don't know. Okay.
Guess we'll have to...
Well, you're going to have to tell us all about that.
Do you know if it's determinate or semi-determinate or?
It's a determinate.
That's cool.
Oh, we'd love to hear about it. All right, we're inside a minute, James, for our break, but thank you for calling.
All
Thanks,
right,
man.
See you later, James.
Thank you. Thanks for the info.
All right. Very nice. Thank you, James. But yes, we're going to be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas. Give us a call at 210-308-8867. We're going to be right back.
We're back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas, live from Millburgers Landscaping and Nursery at 1604 in Bulverde Road. Come out to visit or call us at 210-308-8867. That's 210-308-8867. And now back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 930 AM The Answer.
Welcome back to Milberger's Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Alex Escobar with Dr. Calvin Finch and Mark Peterson. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867. I think before the break we were on the phone with James. Brought up a new type of tomato that they have.
Roadster.
Roadster.
I don't know. Something about it just jogged something in my memory, but I can't give it a name or a thought.
Next time David comes by, we'll see if he recognizes it.
Speaking of that, is it on the Milberger's website that has a list of all the times that David will be by here?
All events, yes. At milbergernursery.com, there you can check to see what events are coming up here at Milberger's. From what I've seen, I haven't seen anything.
No, not coming up.
No classes.
Maybe he's going on vacation.
Who are you talking about?
David.
Oh, yeah.
No, David doesn't go on vacation.
Maybe he's hiding because of the
Pole Big episode?
Yeah.
The Pole Big affair.
Well, maybe the fall crop will change people's minds on it.
Maybe.
Yeah, we still have some few sales. We have Laurier peas on sale with a large selection of Big Blue, Super Blue, Aztec Grass, Silvery Sunproof. They're regularly $8.99. They're on sale for $6.88. Crepe myrtles are on sale, 25% off. They're regularly $44.99. Firecracker ferns are on sale, and a number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale 2 for $40.
You know, Trace and I always thought that should have been a superstar. Maybe it will be eventually, but lots of wonderful flowers can grow in a lot of different places. It has both sun and shade, and across the state.
Can we break into your sales talk? And
Sure.
I wanted to ask Mark about this week in the garden and in this column.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the Condalia or the Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about going ahead and planting it in your landscape with the berries. And I was wondering, how practical is that, Mark? Is it? I imagined, based on the way the berries seem to come up, that they would that you could collect some of the berries off of a plant and then plant them.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about the germination rate. I have to go look at Jill Wasowski's book on germinating native plants just to see how they are. But yeah, they're probably very good. Since I think they require a little what do you call when you mash them up?
Stratification.
No, well, yeah, that too. So you're mashing them up because there are tiny seeds inside the berry. So mash them up a little bit and clean them, and then stratify them.
I was trying to encourage gardeners to collect some of the seeds and get some planted in their landscapes. I think the berries have all got consumed as far as I can tell in my neighborhood.
Well, so that's why maybe then we wait for it to germinate and we look for those little plants and maybe transplant those plants.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You might, if you got a neighbor that has the Condalia, some of the, and quite a few neighborhoods do have those, and then you just let them know you're interested and see if they will let you come and harvest a seedling.
They work well in a bed or in a lawn situation. I frequently see them as a centerpiece in the middle of the lawn, and the grass all around them.
Full sun that works.
Full sun, and they're raised. The canopy's raised up just a little so you can get the mower underneath the canopy. But it's a nice little small tree. Uniform, disciplined shape.
Now, there's both males and females, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Mostly females,
Yeah.
at least. That's what you notice.
Yeah.
Loaded with the...
I don't know if it's like a persimmon or more like a perfect tree. What we call a perfect tree, a perfect flower, like our fruits, members of the Rosaceae family. I don't know. I have to look it up.
Now, you talk about the Texas persimmon. They're still full of fruit and getting harvested. Yeah,
right.
Mockingbirds and cardinals and blue jays.
So last week I was talking about I was walking along a path at the Medina River natural area, and I just was walking along, and all of a sudden there was just all black spots on the path, and I went, there has to be a persimmon nearby, a female persimmon nearby, and sure enough there was.
I like the looks of their shape. It's a really kind of a disciplined looking plant that fits into the landscape very well.
And the bark is lovely.
Oh yeah, it's a nice landscape plant. I think more attractive than the condalia, but of course the birds like both of them. So if you have a lot of folks now are after our column about the bird berries. A lot of gardeners are talking about 12 months of berries. I think it's relatively easy to come up with that. 12 months of berries.
Yeah. So you're going to throw in maybe a little quat because that blooms in the wintertime and then has its fruit early spring.
And you got the hollies. You got the
there you go.
Durantas.
Yeah.
The Durantas, the berries stay on there quite long into the winter. I think part of it is that they're not as palatable to the birds until they get softened by the freezes. But yeah, I think it's just we spent a lot of years talking about giving presentations on 12 months of color, but it's probably almost as easy to produce 12 months of berries if you have enough landscape. And it can be a relatively disciplined planting too, especially if you talk about things like Texas persimmon and a few, at least one hackberry out there, and
it's a good hackberry. There's one good hackberry. It's called the net leaf hackberry. Although we're trying to drum up support for the Texas Hill Country sugarberry as the alternate name.
Yeah, got to
do that promo.
That's an interesting pursuit, and condalia is one of those that are really favored by the birds. Let's see what else. Another thing is, I hope that not too many gardeners did what I did and let the sunflowers kind of take over the whole yard.
Now, you warn us all the time about that, and you let it happen.
Yeah, well,
physician heal thyself.
With the rain, I can't believe it, but they're, they're 10 feet tall, and of course the lesser goldfinches love them, and the house finches, so they're just loaded with birds. But it's you have to have a really sharp machete, or even better yet, one of those battery-operated chainsaws to move through your backyard if you've got too many of those.
I just did a video over at Rainbow Gardens, and you should have seen the border patch caterpillars.
Oh, yeah?
On the sunflowers. Holy smokes. I saw one where it just reminded me of Milton. The caterpillars had basically stripped up all the foliage on this on the sunflower.
Yeah.
And, it was truly amazing and truly horrifying at the same time.
Did you see any other butterfly types over there on that?
Oh yeah, so
And the
all
sunflower.
kinds of butterflies.
Yeah.
The Brazilian. What's the Brazilian skipper? Is that the one?
The one on the
Yeah, it had
Canis?
black with the luminescent light blue spots on it on the base. Is that the one I'm thinking of?
No, I think you're thinking of the one that looks like the black swallowtail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the black swallowtail, but it's not. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, the Brazilian skipper, I think, is the one that only lays its eggs on the canis, if I'm right.
I think you are.
But gosh, yeah, the butterflies are just unbelievable this year. They like the sun and the heat and the foliage and blooms everywhere, and especially blooms here at the Milbergers.
Yes. We still have those two that you pointed out earlier, right here on the yellow.
The ones currently
Yes.
on your left-hand side of your dial?
Yeah, left hand, yes.
I mean, are you talking about the Esperanza?
Yeah. No. The ones on the new gold lantana right on front.
Oh,
There's a couple of them right
those
there.
are good.
I don't know what those are. Yeah, if you just joined us, this is Butterfly Talk.
Yeah, and right now it's dominated by the white-streaked longtails that are on those antennas. Oh, there's a lot of them there. They're pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Strange looking, and attractive.
Please call, folks. Get us out of here.
Yes, that number's 210-308-8867. There's still a few sale items that we can get back to. Like I said, the firecracker ferns were on sale in a number 3, regularly $24.99, on sale 2 for $40. Texas sage is on sale, not to be confused with, what did we say earlier,
Which is
the woodland sage.
Said Mark.
What is it, Salvia nemosa? Is that what the woodland sage was?
It was
Yeah,
salvia nemosa,
Yeah, okay.
and then autumn sage, which is salvia
and autumn
greggii.
sage, which is the famous salvia greggii. That one comes in all kinds of colors.
Oh wow, yes.
And very durable.
Yes, Texas
Perennial,
sage.
almost evergreens.
Yeah.
A lot of them if the winter's mild.
Yes,
I have to prune mine.
we have Texas sage on sale, values to $149.99, now 15% off.
And tell us again, Mark, what that genus and species are.
Which one? Which one?
Texas sage.
Texas sage, also known as cenizo, also known as Texas Ranger. The genus is Leucophyllum, and the species name is Fructescens.
And I guess they call it a sage because the bloom
Yeah,
looks a lot like
the
that.
bloom, and I think that foliage looks a little. I'm being rough here, but it looks a little like the culinary sage. So,
And the deer don't eat it, just like the salvias. So,
I know people say that it helps predict when it's going to be moisture or rain, but this past time...
some people,
most people
swear by it, and his name is Milton.
Well, usually it works at our house, but this past heavy storms, no flowering at all whatsoever.
There you go. Evidence.
But then there's time it's no rain and it's blooms up a storm. But
well, it surprised me. I was trying to remember which author was vehement in stating that it's not a predictor of rain. I don't know what that always surprises me that when people get that strong statements on issues that the surface evidence looks so much like it that it has some does look like it has
Yeah. So the evidence
recommendation.
is There's some evidence for it, some evidence against. Or as the great Ward Bond said in The Quiet Man, I can't say yes and I can't say no, but there has been talk.
And then the last item we have listed for sale, another Texas superstar, Vitex, also known as Texas Lilac. And a number 3, values up to $34.99, on sale 30% off.
Yeah, that's really a versatile plant for our landscapes. Can do prosper in sun or shade, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the deer don't seem to eat it. And the blooms are favorite of pollinators, and they're very attractive blue blooms. Do the ones we have, are they got that new blue color, or are they the old fashioned blue?
I don't know.
Let's see. I got the
It's checking right now.
We both have hard copy.
With one that's got some.
I don't think it gives a list of.
Here it is. Yeah. Well, it's kind of faded looking here.
But also known as Mexican lavender or chast tree.
Chast?
Chast?
Well, you're not very chaste, are you?
No.
Okay. Chaste. Now, that comes from the Middle Ages, and both monks and nuns swore by it, that it helped them be chaste.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's ever demonstrated it, but that's where the legends come from.
All right. Well, those are our sales for this weekend. We'll probably touch more on those later and tomorrow as well. But we would love to hear from some people out there. 210-308-8867. We're going to wait for your calls. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening South Texas, right here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. 210-308-8867. We have Beth on the line. Beth, it's good to hear from you. How are we doing?
Good. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Hi, Beth.
Hi.
What's happening?
Well, I have just loved this rain, and I just loved listening to it. You know, even though I know it's hard on a lot of other people, but it's beautiful music, you know. So anyway,
do you have any pets?
I have a very sweet calico cat, and her name is Annie, and she has been my company, and she would go to the front door and look out and back up into the house. Then she'd go to the back door and look out. You know, so didn't want to go outside, but if I were to get up from my chair to go get a drink or whatever, when I came back, she was curled up on my chair, you know. But when I came, though, she looked at me, but she said, okay, I know, I'll get off. So anyway, what about your pet?
I was going to, you were relating how much you liked the sound of that rain, and my West Highland Terriers don't much care for that sound.
Well, no, they didn't like the thunder.
Well,
no.
Even the rain tells them that there's going to be thunder and lightning coming. So
yeah, well,
I get them. Yes, I get the same kind of a response that your calico cat did, up on the bed with me, you know, looking me in the eyes. And, Dad, why do you allow this to happen?
Exactly. My cat gives me these funny looks, and her ears are back. But anyway, it's doesn't like the rain, and yes, she kind of is alert when it's starting to rain, but she'll move over to a comfortable place, and you know. But then if it's thunder, well, then she's just real nervous, you know. So. But anyway,
it's tough.
Part of my house has a metal roof, and all has a metal roof, but part of the house doesn't have an attic. It has about a 18-inch flat or space between the metal and the roof, you know. And so that way I get to hear the rain on the roof, and usually I think it's going to be a lot more because it sounds so loud, you know.
Yeah.
But in the part of the house where there's an attic, you don't hear it. So anyway, I have just really loved it. And the first thought I was going to make when y'all were first talking about San Augustine, I have several places in my yard that the grass had died out. I mean, just really, it was dirt, down to nothing, dead carpet grass, San Augustine. Mm-hmm. But I thought I don't worry about it, because when we first moved out here years ago, we were laughing at other people who were going to be moving out, putting in San Augustine lawns, and we were thinking, ha ha, they don't realize they're in the country. You don't do that. But throughout these years, since 1959, the San Augustine has crept and crept and crept. It's just surprising what it does. And then if it freezes back, I don't worry about it, because I know that it'll come out again. But what I was going to tell people to watch out for, don't watch out. Look for it as it starts putting out those long runners.
Yeah.
Snip them back about from the tip end, from where they're growing, cut it back about 8 inches to cut it one place. Uh-huh. And then go back a little bit farther in another place. And so those intersections there put out those side runners, and it covers up faster.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, absolutely.
Anyway, so that's a good thing about the San Augustine. Okay, on your Brazil, yes, I love Brazil, and I have one that came up near my front gate. It's just outside the fence, and so often that one of the neighbors will mow that area, so I had to finally really put up some stakes around it to give it a chance to grow, and it's about the size of a half a bushel, but it's kind of bushy, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I just love it, and we've had several ones on this property, but we always called them ironwood, but they've died out through the years, and so I'm so happy to have this one. Okay, mm-hmm. Now another little tree that's I really value it is kidney wood, and a couple of years ago, evidently we didn't have rain when they were pollinating the seeds, the flowers, because we had a real good place where the seeds were coming in, were sprouting. And so I have quite a few little kidney woods, not taller than 6 inches.
What are kidney woods? What do they look like?
So kidney wood is a small tree /
It's a legume.
Yeah.
It's a legume.
It's a little legume. It's compound leaf. But right now, if you go to any trail, any park, natural area, you're going to be smelling the smell. So it produces a little white flower, and bees particularly love it. But it's a little shrubby tree.
I'm in October. I'm going to pot some of them up and see if I can get them to grow. Another thing about it, there is one particular butterfly that I can't remember the name that really loves to come to it. Sometimes some of the butterfly, little bitty one, and its head and its tail, it looks like it has 2 heads. But it's small, and sometimes they're gray, and sometimes they're green. But anyway, yes, the bees and that particular butterfly.
I was just saying, Robin over at Rainbow Gardens told me it yesterday, and of course, I've forgotten which butterfly that is. But
it's really a cute one, and I'll get my butterfly book out and pick it out. I used to know,
really disappointed in you and Mark that you can't remember what.
Well, no.
I'm
old, but Beth is older than me.
And then you can't tell us what it is.
Well, Calvin, as you were starting out this morning, when you were starting out with the program, and you were hesitating, like you were trying to think, and I thought, my gosh, he has the same thing I have. I can't remember and I know it's there, and I can't say the right words, and I don't know what causes that.
Well, I think it may be old age for me, at least. For me,
well, I consider myself a 30 model. So you see my age. Then I just turned 96 in June.
Yeah.
So,
good work.
Anyway,
I wasn't going to mention it on the air, so.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Let me go down this. I also have a lote bush one.
Bush, yeah.
Lote, L-O-T-E. That
Yep.
it's right by a fence, and so I know it was planted by a bird,
Right.
but it doesn't have anything else, and it really doesn't do much.
No, it's got unique branches. That's what it's kind of cool
What is
for.
it?
A lote bush.
And the
L-O-T-E.
and the coloration on the bark is pretty, So let's see. I have one more thing here. Oh, in Live Oak County, you don't call it Sinisa, you call it purple sage.
All right.
I mean,
There's another
purple
one.
sage.
There was another name I was thinking, and I couldn't remember it. There you go, purple sage.
Yeah, purple sage. That's what the old timers do or call it. And I have one area of my property that drains well, and it's kind of rocky, and I call it my South Texas area. And I do have one of those, the purple sage there, and a couple of others. One of them is the whatever. Let's see. Y'all mentioned the name a while ago. It's a plant that has the name. It has a Mexican name, and I can't think of it right now. But anyway, ebony.
Okay, you got ebony, yeah. Ibano?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it freezes back sometime, but it does come back, and I had gotten it at Leon Valley one year when they were having a plant sale. So that's one more thing, and I guess that's about the main thing I have on my list here. But you've had a good conversations this morning, and I like to hear your voices. It's very comforting to me, and I sit here by my table with my cup of coffee, and I sort of think, well, y'all are just sitting over there on the other side of the table, and I think, don't look toward the kitchen. I haven't done the dishes yet. So.
You know what I saw, Beth, this morning was a male. There it goes. My old age.
Yeah.
They were bunting.
A painted or a regular?
Painted
Okay.
bunting.
Oh, wonderful.
It's been a while since I've seen it, and it was in some Johnson grass feeding on the seed head.
What? Oh no!
Yeah. Well,
was beautiful.
yeah, I haven't. There's some of the little birds that are coming here now. I can't identify them because as I look at them, I'm just seeing the silhouette because of the way the light is, But anyway, we were having some different little birds come to the feeders, and I have noticed since all of the rain, no more hummingbirds.
Really? I was just
Where do they go?
I would mine are. There's a lot of hummingbirds in my yard. The problem I have is that I've got a outlaw raccoon that pulls down my hummingbird feeders every evening, and not just pulls them down, but she
runs away with them,
but breaks them. So I don't know how I'm going to deal with her.
I had a seed ball, like you get at the seed stores. It was the shape of a bell, and it was all seeds. And I had it hanging up just outside my kitchen window here. And we were enjoying last week seeing all the little birds coming to it. And then this morning I looked out there, and it's gone. So the raccoon climbed up by some hardware cloth that I had kind of protecting a vine, and it got my seed bell. So I thought, well, then I can't complain. I mean, everybody's hungry and thirsty and all of that. Anyway, it's been interesting observing the changes of everything after this wonderful rain.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of action out there. I was
Yes.
telling Mark and that I also saw the western kingbird, a pair of western kingbirds, and then I had an ash-throated
flycatcher.
flycatcher.
Yeah, because I didn't know that one. So I was
a
like,
pair in a birdhouse, and that's the first time I've seen them in my landscape,
Well,
as far as I can remember.
Does the kingbird have a forked tail?
It's got the thing that I notice about it. It's got a dark tail, and then it has the white
stripes on the
stripes
outside?
on the very end, just very thin stripes. That's kind of the then and yellow chest.
Well, and is it a slender bird?
Yeah, relatively slender, much more slender than like the ash-throated or the other kingbirds. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's fun watching all of these guys, and then I have the phoebes, and now when I compare slender, the phoebe is a little bit not slender, a little bit more round, but I love them,
small.
and they come in. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, well, good. I'm glad we're all enjoying all of these things here.
I just want to ask you one thing. Did you have any kind of flooding problems or drainage issues?
Well,
because you do have like a little arroyo or a little dry creek.
I do. On this property that's 250 feet wide and 300 from front to back, and from the northwest corner, it comes across the road from a place that has a lot of impervious ground and roofs and everything. So it cuts across there, and it comes from that corner of our yard off to the southeast corner, and it's kind of like a curve. It's almost like a horseshoe. We're on a slope, and that horseshoe makes this slope, and so the drainage comes from this horseshoe. It all comes down to that creek. And so some year we would have flash flooding that just really ruined some of the property here. But several years ago, I had a little, what I call my hill country low water crossing bridge. Very affectionately, I call it that, because for the driveway, the rain comes across that little creek, and it flows over the top, but it holds back enough water, so it doesn't just flush away, and it waters some of the trees there, cedar elm and some other things. So yes, I have that. So we have flooding coming from the street down to this little ditch that runs crossways. And years ago, when we first moved out here on the kind of the east central part of the property, beautiful, beautiful meadow with the most wonderful wildflowers I just loved. Anyway, just everything. Well, then that we had a droughty time after that, and so the soil was loose, and we had one of those flash floods, and it took away the topsoil, my wildflower seeds. And then the next year there were still a few things, but not as much, because that flooding, when the ground was loose, just take that soil away. And nowadays in that area that used to be a beautiful meadow, it's mainly speargrass, wintergrass, speargrass.
Yeah.
And it's because the good soil washed away, and only these tough guys could survive. But anyway, it's all right. That's nature, and that's the way it goes. And so,
well, thank you for that report. That was wonderful.
Why were you asking about flooding?
Oh no! I just remember your property, and I was just wondering. I thought it had a little dry creek running.
Well, east of here towards Southwell Road, we've had some major plumbing put in there to kind of help out drain the places that are up from about where the police station is through there. But that doesn't affect us so far. We're up I'm up far enough right where the road begins to change and make a turn from east and west to a little bit, makes a curve there, so we don't have the flash flooding. But Calvin, I bet you did have a lot of problems.
Actually, I don't. I'm kind of on top of the hill. So
Yeah.
I get the water moving down, and I see these organic material piles.
Yeah.
But I never get any lingering moisture.
Yeah. Well, when I'm traveling Babcock, a lot of times when I cross that creek on Babcock, and I think, well, you live somewhere over in there. So, anyway.
All right.
Anyway, well, thank you for listening, and like I said, I do.
Oh, we always enjoy your.
Well, I like to hear from y'all. If I'm talking, then I'm not learning anything.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Have a good rest of the day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, Beth. We're going to take a quick short break. We're going to be right back with Millburgers
Well,
Gardening.
we either got Beth talking about her floods or Alex talking about his sales.
Well, we'll be right back.
Call
with
Beth
Millburgers.
back. Call Beth back.
We'll be right back with Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Welcome back to Millburgers Gardening, South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer. Got about 10, 12 minutes left in our show for today. So we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call at 210-308-8867, 210-308-8867.
Let's remind everybody that it's time to pull their tomatoes.
If they haven't
from
already,
the spring,
yes.
yeah. And hopefully we'll continue to have
Shipments of tomatoes coming in.
well, yeah, that too, but continue to have a lack of spider mites. So that makes it so much easier because you can just pull the tomato plants, harvest the fruit, and then just put the tomato plants in the compost pile. They decompose really quickly but if you've got spider mites, you don't want to put them in the compost pile.
Is it easy to spot once you have spider mites? Or?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Especially this time of the year, they'll be kind of a gray. You'll even see webs.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, and then you just, if you don't have them, which I haven't seen any so far. I haven't heard any reports of folks that have spider mites on the tomatoes. So, just put them in the compost pile, let them decompose there, and be ready to plant. And then stop by Millburgers, and like Mark said, there's every selection that you might imagine available.
Right now there is.
Yeah.
But as Calvin and I often say, selection goes down over time.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, these are small. These are the 4.5-inch pots. But they will grow with tender, loving care.
And they grow fast. They respond to available nutrients, and you keep them moist, and they'll take root and start growing. But get the weeds out too. Not only get the old plants, and get the weeds out, and go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And do the 10 cups of 1959 per 100 square feet of bed, and also 2 inches of compost. That doesn't take much compost, just a few bags, or if you get a load in your pickup truck, or have them one of the companies deliver a pile, you can use it over the next few years if you've got a place to put it. But the bags are very easy to use. You can just spread that in and incorporate that compost into that tomato bed, and really makes a difference, especially if you got the 1959. What an efficient, effective fertilizer that is.
I think you mentioned it earlier, but when should the fall crop come to harvest?
Well, we hope we need to beat by Thanksgiving. We want. So, let's see. We got August, September, October.
Yeah.
At the end of October should be.
So, when those nighttime temperatures drop to about 75 or below 75, because that's when you're going to get flowers, but you don't really get good fruit setting until about that time. So
Gotcha.
we're going to look in September.
September.
And then fruit production is going to continue on from there.
Yeah, but just like Mark said, you got to take advantage of the opportunities, get them in place. You could pot them up if you wanted to, but I think I'm going to, especially because there's a lack of spider mites and everything, I think I'm going to go ahead and plant even the smaller, these 4.5-inch container plant. I'm plant them directly onto the spot.
Has the lack of spider mites been to the rain or the weather, or what usually attracts them?
Well, it's hard to tell, but basically, I don't think it was the rain. I was trying to, usually you'll say, well, it was cool weather, but we didn't have a lot of cool weather either. I think the timing, the rain. I think all those factors.
I think they're all factors in that this year. Maybe it's just cyclical. Some years more than others.
Oh boy, and it's been spider mites have been bad the last few years, so it's so nice to have a
break
year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go and use a half molasses barrel. So if anybody knows that big round, I don't know how many gallons it is, but it's been sitting. I've been prepping for a while, waiting for this day, and it's about 30 inches across, maybe 36. Yeah, 30. About
Is it
30,
plastic?
30. Yeah, with lots of holes on the bottom, and I've been just using my potting soil and adding my Osmocote as necessary, kind of getting it ready, because these plants are heavy feeders, and you want to make sure you get, like Calvin said, a good supply of fertilizer compost in there, organic matter that you want in there, mixed in real well prior to planting.
Yeah, a lot of times using those containers is one of the easiest ways to do it, because you can. It's so much easier to control weeds and everything.
Yeah.
But either way, both with tomatoes and peppers they both like containers or into the garden, as long as you give them plenty of water and plenty of nutrients. They're going to produce for you. But the plants are here, so.
Yeah, so like Calvin, I think I'm going to go directly into the bigger container and pot them up. So I may get one BHN and one pole bag, maybe. I don't know, maybe a different, maybe Celebrity. Maybe I'll wimp out and get Celebrity. I don't know.
Well, I always set myself, I'm only going to get 4 or 6 plants, and then I always end up with more plants than I need. And then this year was overwhelming because I got but the leaf-footed bugs really liked it, and the birds liked it. That I got all those extra plants. They were all sharing the tomatoes with me. So this is it's the fall. It's the fall planting, and the idea is to beat the cold weather to get our production.
What else would people be starting to plant as well, as far as fall crops?
I was one of the questions I had in the question and answer article that I wrote today was, is it too early to prepare the soil for For the vegetable greens, too. When do we plant those, Mark? We plant those in October 1st?
Yeah. 1st of October is usually on the greens. So we build up to it. So tomatoes and squash. And then the heavier plant, maybe beans and peas. And
that's one of the advantages.
In September 1st. So kind of going per month. I do every one a month.
The 1959, because it's 50%
right.
slow release and 50% fast release.
Yeah.
You got some flexibility there. You're not going to be wasting that nitrogen. It'll be both the greens and tomatoes will be able to take advantage of it.
It's true. What do we got? Yes, sir.
Mark could appreciate this. I thought it was kind of interesting. The city is leaving banners on people's doors, hanging and talking about, reminding people about oak wilt.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I got a client yesterday who was talking about that.
What was it? What was the issue?
Oh, just reminding people. So the better times to prune, I always say, you may prune an oak anytime if you paint.
Oh, oak. So
but when the better times is between July 1st and February 1st.
But there's still the law here that you have to paint, right?
It's still city code is you have to paint.
And it's always the safest thing to do anyway.
And that's any type of paint to paint over it?
Any type of paint.
Latex,
you can use Elmer's glue
works.
if you so desire. So here's my little cheat card.
All right.
So September, beans, beets, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, carrots,
And
cabbage, cauliflower. I have it all alphabetical. Collards.
I don't know, Alex, if I told you, I've told this story about 400 times, but if you irritate your neighbors about harassing them about painting their oak trees, sometimes they get vengeance on you by one of my neighbors who's a great gardener, but I brought it to his attention that he should have painted those wounds. And so the next day, the wounds were painted, and guess what color they were?
Orange?
Purple facing me. Facing my
So purple is frequently used as a no trespassing paint in the forest. So,
this purple was really obvious.
Really purple. So what was Sandra Cisneros' house down in Southtown? Was that pink or purple that she painted to object the neighbors?
Thanks, Ed.
Can't remember.
I don't remember.
One of those two.
Yeah, all right.
Fuchsia, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But anyway, yes. So that's what the city, and that's also a result of the city's going through the neighborhoods with brush pickup.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing. But as Calvin mentioned, it is still city ordinance that you must paint all your wounds on all your oaks within 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Oh, wow.
I know.
That is a short time.
Because I wrote that 35 years ago.
And it's still standing true
and it's still standing true today. Now, some of the municipalities added an additional layer, and that is the prohibition of pruning oaks between February 1st and July 1st. That's not in the city of San Antonio, but there are certain communities, separate communities that have that.
They're just more
Of course, yeah.
It's more susceptible because that's when the insects that transmit it, and the trees are more susceptible.
Yeah.
And there's a third reason I can't remember.
Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. I want to thank you, everybody, for listening to Millburgers Gardening South Texas on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Thank you, Beth, for your story.
Yes, thank you, Beth. Have a great Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow at noon.